Hello and welcome to this month's Maggie Moment. I want to talk today about meltdowns after school, particularly for our children under probably year 3. And there's a really important message in amongst all this, that school is much tougher for our children than it used to be. So if you look back at your child and thought, I can't believe I never melted down like this, it's a very different world. So don't automatically think there's something wrong with your children. I think there's something wrong with our education system that's pushing down too much formalised learning too soon, that's demonising play, and our children aren't having as much fun as previous generations. So let's get that out the road. So if you've ever picked your child up after school and notice that they're not all that happy to see you, and sometimes, and particularly if our boys, remember boys aren't always able to articulate how they're feeling, they might even want to kick you, and you'll think, what the heck's going on? Now check first there's not a poo that's due, because you need to get home for that, but if it's not, quite often they're trying to tell you how much they've missed you, and in a way it's kind of a bit called a defensive attachment, which means I really am attached to you, I love you, but look what you've made me come away from you all day, and I'm a little bit crabby about that. And also they're wired to want to stay close to us. So sometimes that's just an immediate reaction. But what I find, kids usually are not too bad till they get to the car, and then all hell can break loose. So what's happened then is your child has tried all day to listen and behave and be good and colour within the lines and use their manners and all of those sorts of things. And then all of a sudden, they're in the car and there's nothing left. So in other words, they've got no neurochemicals in the brain that's flooding the body that are good, feel-good ones. Everything's done. And so they're getting flooded with stress hormones, particularly cortisol, which of course, when we have too much, tips the brain into its flight-fight mode, and they just melt down. So remember, not bad children exhausted and overwhelmed with what happens in their day. So I've often spoken in my boys' seminars about how you need to get food into a boy really quickly as a very first stopgap, because quite often they're hungry as well. Secondly, we need to be aware that this is something we can prepare for. So if you can put some funny props in the side of your car, maybe put on some flashing glasses that make your kids go, oh, I've got a weird mother, a really weird wig or something, or some fangs or something that makes them want to laugh, that can be really helpful. And of course, for those who have boys, you know there's nothing quite like a well-timed fart that can trigger all those things. So if you can't fart well, get the farting cushion. But I want you to be really mindful to be prepared for these meltdowns, because that's our children completely done, completely spent from a really big day at school. And those of you who have adolescents will know you can also have these sorts of things in that early stage of adolescence. It's a bit like they've regressed into their childhood again. They're done, they're exhausted, and they're not very good at filling their cup. So if you can turn up with a heart full of love and knowing that this could be a reality, instead of thinking there's something wrong with my child. And again, love, tenderness, laughter, safe touch, food, all of the things that nurture and soothe our children, have them ready at hand. And if you can, try not to interrogate your boys on the way home, because you could get another meltdown because they can't remember a thing. So remember, very common, normal reasons, they do get a little bit better at doing it. So I hope that's helpful for you. And if it was, if you've got some other tips, feel free to add them and share them. And that's all for today's Maggie Moment.